So why is ironing a shirt important? That's a good question. Why am I making this video, how to iron a shirt? Well, a couple of reasons. One, it's good to look smart for your job, for going out. Two, if you go out for a date and your shirt's looking scruffy, not setting the best impression. You want to look slick and as smart as possible. Number three, all men should know how to iron their shirts. Don't be a lazy Neanderthal backwards guy who says, oh, but that's what a woman's job. Learn how to do it, it's dead easy, dead quick, then you don't have to rely on anyone. Nothing worse, nothing more of a turn off for anyone than someone who's reliant on other people to do things for them. Do it for yourself, be independent, much more attractive. So, without further ado, here comes my guide. This video, then my hard drive messed up and I lost everything. But today, as you can see here, we're going to look at ironing a shirt. And I've got two examples we're going to go for. I've got my cheap, crappy work shirt made out of a thin cotton, and we've also got a much fancier, heavier duty suit shirt, which is, as you can see, pretty badly creased. But you know, this is the kind of shirt you'd want for a night out or for a job interview, or if you're earning a lot of money. It's thick cotton compared to the cheap naff easy iron one. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to quickly iron these. So essential bits of kit: you're going to need yourself an ironing board, an iron, no shit Sherlock, and a bit of kit that I really recommend is like a squeezy bottle. This says shower clear on it. It's not been shower clear in about 5 years. I just fill it up with distilled water because I live in a hard water area. If you live in a soft water area, you can fill it straight from the tap, and you could probably even fill it straight from the tap for what it's being used for. And the reason for that is it's a lot easier to iron clothes that are wet or are damp, and the creases come out a lot easier. So best to iron them straight out of the washing machine or near as damn it. When they're wet, don't put them on a drying cycle, or if you've left them out for a while, then your spray bottle comes in useful. So we're going to start off with the cheap shirt first, the cheap work shirt. You're probably not going to need to put that much effort into this one, yeah. So you'll get things, you'll hear guys saying start with the collar, move on to the bit at the back, do the cuffs, and then do the arms. Because this is a cheap work shirt, I only want to do a quick job. The collar's fine, and if we have a look at it, yeah, it's got a few little creases in, but it's nothing serious, it's nothing that bad. Look at the front of the shirt, yeah, it's quite badly creased, so that's not what I want to be showing off. It does also have a board pen marker on it, so dry wipe marker, but never mind. So what you do, start off with the sleeves, okay? So if you lay them out on the ironing board, and if you get this bit down here, you'll notice, I'll zoom in, this stitching here. Okay, you can either position that so the stitching's up, or the stitching's facing underneath, and you might need a little bit of a play. And then take the time just to smooth the shirt out. Doesn't matter too much with this cheap shirt. Now, I've got my ironing board stuck on something there. So smooth it out, make sure there are no creases. It takes a few seconds, but it's going to save you a hell of a lot of pain. Now this shirt's straight out the wash, or pretty much straight out the wash, so I can get straight on it. So set my iron to the highest heat. If you've got a steam iron, you can put a little bit of steam on if you want. This one's also got a spray, but neither the spray nor the automatic steam work after I've dropped this iron a few times. There you go, that's all you need to do. You just move a quick back and forth, going from the middle to the edges along the sleeve. Now it might be tempting to go down here, down the edges like this, and yeah, you can do just about, but if you do that on the heavier duty shirts, what you'll do is you'll end up putting little creases in the edges here, it'll ruffle it up, so best to avoid. Done one sleeve, do the other. Again, because it's a cheap shirt, it's a work shirt, I'm not Not too bothered, it's going to be worn under a jacket or under a jumper at the moment, perhaps when the temperature drops below freezing. And then the next step is slot it so one of the button sides is facing up, and you can see that nice pen mark there. Now it doesn't matter which side you start on, but as you can see, the back side of the shirt is going all the way around. This is done up, it doesn't have to be, it can be undone as well. Then again, take your iron and move centrally to the outsides. You can go in between the buttons as well if you want, but cheap work shirt, not too much of a problem. You can tell it's cheap as well because if I pull it tight against the ironing board, you can see right through it. So I'll do the back, pretty much the same thing. Watch out that your cable doesn't catch and pull it up into any little creases, because you don't want to iron those in. Again, middles to the edges. Work your way around in a circle. This is the advantage of having it done up. So what I do is I take it off with the shirt done up, take it off like it's a jumper, arms above the edge up. Iron it off on the front. Get your coat hanger. There we go, we can see now. Much better. I mean, it's not perfect, but as I said, it's not for showing off in. Now we can hang that up somewhere to dry out. Now my next shirt is this thicker one from the Savoy Tailors Guild. Oh, fancy. Now this one hasn't just come out of the wash, it's been out of the wash and it's dried for a while. And it's also French cuff, so it needs cuff links. Now this requires a little bit more work, and I'm also going to need my spray bottle, because as I said, that spray doesn't work after I dropped it. So this time again the collar's fairly good, but I can show you quickly how to iron the collar. So you put it down, if you need to you can spray some water on. Start on the outside, a bit folded out like that. Just give it a quick iron, going all the way into the corners. You can fold it down, don't need to bother with that inside part because no one's going to see it. There you go, collar looks great. Then the next step is we're going to start off with the sleeves. Now with these French cuff ones, do the sleeves first and then do the cuffs, because if you do the cuffs first then it becomes awkward to iron the sleeves. And if you've got a crease in them already up at the top, it can be easier to find that crease and get that in position. As we can see, this is quite a state. So I'm going to fold the stitching on the bottom, I'm going to fold that down, and it's going to keep trying to rotate up. So I'm going to start in this corner near the armpit, if we see that there, and I'm going to start with the iron. I'm just going to try and set that crease there, so it's going to hopefully, a little bit of pulling when I get the fabric right. Again, iron back on, iron it back into place. Okay, it's heavy duty cotton, it can take quite a lot of heat. But obviously don't put it on such a high heat if you're doing a synthetic shirt. Wouldn't recommend a synthetic shirt, they don't breathe very easily, your sweat gets trapped in them, compared to cotton, which wicks it away. And as a bachelor you don't want to be smelling. There we go. All the way down. So that made the rest of the job a lot easier. Then for the next bit, again just like the other one, smooth it up, try and pull out all the creases. And this is going to again be a little bit difficult to start off with because it's a thick cotton. Give it a little spray of water, especially where you've got creases. Doesn't matter if it gets too wet. Because the heat of the iron will dry it out. Take your iron, again start centrally and push the iron to the outside, and so long as you've not got any creases it should automatically push the fabric up out of the way and you'll get a nice sharp line on the top of your arm. Now it's a heavier duty shirt for, as I said, those important job meetings, job interviews, going out with your mates, date. You want to put a bit more effort into this than your bog standard everyday work shirts. So give it a good go. Bring this bit over and then iron up on there, make a nice crease there, make it nice and sharp. And then for the bit of the French cuffs, fold them in half, fold them in half again like you would do when you're wearing them, and just put the iron on top, press it down, it's the important part there, and take a bit of pressure. Then on the inside of that one, to make sure that one also gets a nice crease, get a nice fold. Then do the same for the other arm, which I won't show you too much in detail, I'll speed this part up. Okay, and then we come on to the fronts of the shirt. So it's exactly the same as the last time. Oh no, looks like I got some kind of pen or something, some kind of pigment on there. Hopefully that'll wash out next time I wash it. Give it a good spray with your water. Doesn't need to be too wet, just a little bit damp. Can add a bit of steam on if you've got particularly persistent creases that you need to iron out. And again, middle of the shirt, work your way outwards, pushing those creases out. Apart from that one I just ironed in. Okay, again you can put pressure downwards, pushing down onto the shirt. As long as you keep the iron moving, don't leave it in one place too long. Just look out for any creases that you might have missed. That was looking pretty good. Again, rotate it around to the back. Except this time, you're going to want to be a bit better job than on the other shirt. So only rotate it halfway, so you've still got a bit of the front side that you've already ironed. Again, little spray of water, help those creases come out. And then a good steady pace. You don't want to be rushing around. In the words of Swiss Tony, it's like making love to a beautiful woman. You don't want to be too fast. You want to be just right. Okay, so you don't want to be not going to do a very good job of ironing. So nice, smooth, long strokes. freezing. Again, little spray of water. And I know it's a dull job, but it's worth it for a nice shirt, especially if you're going out meeting a lady, going out with some mates, potential to meet a lady, or a gentleman if you so prefer. A quick spray on the front. One hand on the iron, the other hand pulling out any creases. Get right into the corners up here. All the way up to the top, and then make sure you do this middle bit as well. Should have a coat hanger on hand. Where did I put mine? There it is. Shirt straight on the coat hanger. Because you've sprayed it, it'll be a bit damp, so it'll need a bit of time to dry off, but you could wear it straight away. And there we go. You can see the difference from before. It's much better iron. I mean, it's not a perfect job again, because I've been trying to rush it a little bit. I've got to go out tonight. Although I won't be wearing this shirt, I've also got a load more ironing to do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Remember to like and subscribe, and if there's anything bachelor or household that you'd like to know about, then drop us a message, drop us a comment, and I'll see about how I can answer that or do another video. Alright, cheerio.